Hey everybody, it's Khristina from Redefine Creative, and I am super excited to be back with the March 2020 For the Love of Homemade kits. And so this is a series where some of my scrappy YouTube friends and I come up with a common recipe for how to build a kit out of your stash. And then we each kind of show you our take on the recipe. And then every Monday throughout the month, we come back and show you how we're using our kit. And so if you have not stopped by the website yet, you're going to want to click on the link down below that will take you to the website, because you can print your own copy of this really cool handy dandy little guide that's going to show you how to put this kit together. So this is perfect if you are wanting to play along with us this month. It is also great if you are packing for a retreat or going to a crop and you want to put some small little mini kits together to take with you so you don't have to take all the things. This is super helpful for that as well. So today I'm just going to walk you through what I have put into my kit and what I will be playing with for the month of March. I am always super excited to start a new kit at the end of the month. So I love the kit that I came up with for February. It was awesome. I had so much fun playing with it, and it's like, and now I'm ready to move on. And so when I personally build a kit, I always start with the paper. So that's why I'm kind of moving the embellishments off to the side. The paper is always where my foundation starts when I'm building a kit like this. So for this month, we want a recent or new paper purchase, so something that you have recently acquired, some kind of tiny printer pattern, an ombre style, which is just going to be that like fading color, a bold pattern paper, and then some kind of specialty paper, so like vellum, acetate, something like that. And that is also the focus at Rediscover Your Stash this month, which is a Facebook group kind of dedicated to digging into your stash. Specialty paper is going to be their focus, or our focus, over there this month as well. So when I was building this kit, I started with this paper from Dear Lizzie, She's Magic. And this is very similar to February in that respect, where I started with a floral. And a lot of times if I'm going to put a floral into my kit, it will be my starting point. Because this big bold floral that I am probably going to fussy cut, let's just be real, has lots of colors. And having a paper that has a lot of colors to start with gives me a great starting point to build more pattern paper off of. So this one is going to kind of be my bold pattern paper, I guess. I always put a little more paper in my kit than the actual recipe calls for, just because I know myself and I use a ton of paper. So this is kind of where I started. And I needed an ombre style. So this one is from Echo Park Mermaid Dreams. And so this side just has mermaids. It's, you know, average, nothing fancy. But this side is gorgeous. And I feel like it's going to go pretty well with this one. So the dark blue is going to give me a really good contrast. And then this pale green down here matches these leaves perfectly. So even though it has a little bit of a different look to it, it works as an offset with this particular pattern paper. I also needed a tiny print. So I went with this teeny tiny print. So this side is these big shelves. This is from Pink Paisley Paige Evans. And so it has this on this side, but this side is just these really tiny little hearts, which I thought was an adorable tiny print. And it has that navy contrast from my ombre paper, but then it also has all of these same colors that are in my florals. So it's something to where I'm going to be able to use this like with this paper or with this paper, and it's super versatile. And then I have another bold paper. So something else I grabbed that was bold is this one, also from She's Magic. So when I pulled out this first one, I grabbed a couple of pages from She's Magic. So I grabbed this one, which is called Grow, that has these kind of green leafy vines, or just a notebook paper, which obviously makes a great background no matter what kit you put it in. And then I also grabbed this kind of diagonal stripe rainbow. It's called Perfectly Imperfect. And then it has these cut aparts on the other side. So I purposefully made sure that I had a couple of papers from the same collection because that instantly gives me coordination. And then I can just pick and choose and add to it as I go. So these 3 papers automatically work really well together because they're from the same collection. But then I have that Mermaid Dreams one from Echo Park. I've got this heart one from Paige Evans. And so now I was feeling like I needed some more of the yellow because there's a lot of yellow elements here. We've got some yellow over here. So I flipped through my stash and I found this, and I really like this paper. And this is from Bella Boulevard, Home Sweet Home. So it's got a yellow background with a white kind of subway tile pattern. And then the other side is the opposite. So it's got the white background with the yellow subway tile. And either way, like either side of this paper coordinates really well with my kit. So this side goes really well with my florals, whereas this side goes better with like my hearts. So that's another one where there's a lot of different ways that I could possibly use it. All right, so then it was time for something recent or new. And so these both came from the Felicity Jayne Bailey collection, which is one of the newer kits from Felicity Jayne. I think this one was, I want to say February. So this is like the latest one. And so this one just has these big columns of hearts and all kinds of pastels. And then it has this black and white sketchy like plaid on the back. But all of these hearts were a really good match for the colors that I have going on in this collection. So I thought that would be a good fit. And then I also have this one, which is stripes in kind of like a pale seafoam color. And then some black and white polka dots on the back. And I also thought that kind of gives a softness to some of these more harsh papers. So when you look at just my pattern paper as a whole, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different collections that are kind of mixed and matched together. But look how well all of those kind of coordinate with each other. So that's the beauty of kind of taking a recipe like this and going outside of paper that you might usually put together. The other last thing that was on our recipe is specialty paper. So I have grabbed some just plain regular vellum and put that in here. And then I also have this arrow piece of acetate. So this is printed acetate, and this is kind of old. This is from Pink Paisley Cedar Lane, which is one of their older collections. Trying to see if it has a date. 2015. And it's clear acetate with all these arrows, but I thought these arrows like mimicked enough of the colors that are throughout this kit. Like it would be great paired with this. So there was enough matching that I felt like I could put that in here and probably get some use out of it with this particular kit. And so that's going to do it for the paper. And as always, I have given myself permission if I need plain cardstock, if I need to go back to my stash, if I need more paper. I don't make my rules so rigid that I can't possibly follow it and be successful. So if I need more stuff, that means I'm using up stuff. And that's great. So I can go back to my stash. All right, mixed media next. We want to see art crayons or gelatos and then a mist or a spray. So I have grabbed my favorite gold Heidi Swapp Color Shine. That is going to be my mist. And then I have grabbed my Vicki Boutin art crayons. So all of the different sets of those. So there's 3 different color palettes. We've got the warms, the cools, and the neutrals. And we're going to see what kind of trouble we can get into playing with some Vicki Boutin crayons this month. So Vicki Boutin crayons, and then that gold Color Shine from Heidi Swapp. And that takes care of my mixed media. Embellishments. We need a roller stamp. So I have one of those I have pulled out. This one is actually a Kate Spade roller stamp, which is just cool because it's Kate Spade. But I am obsessed with Kate Spade, if you didn't know that. Side note, but anyway. I really love the phrases on here. So things like escape the ordinary, be an elegant thinker, light up the room, start something new. So I love this one. So I'm going to throw that one into my kit. I also needed some chipboard, and I have pulled a few different things. So I had some chipboard, like bare chipboard from Creative Embellishments. So I've got two like heart frames, and then I have one that's got just like some ripples and some arrows. And I thought these could be really fun to play with, like coloring these or doing some kind of altering with some of my mixed media and my stamps. So we have that kind of chipboard. And then I also grabbed, I have 2 packs of these Freckled Fawn chipboard stickers. So one is definitely more used than the other. But I thought these like really went well with kind of the colors and the theme of this particular kit. This like really kind of some pastel, but then some bright, fun color. So we're going to add that. Next up, we needed clips of some kind. And so I have 2 different kinds. These, I am not even sure where I got them, but I want to say they came from like the Target dollar spot. And then these little guys are from Felicity Jayne. They're just little mint colored clips. These I thought could be really fun to put some kind of like embellishment in the middle, like little hearts or something. So we're going to see if we can play around with those because they just look like little page flags. All right, spring themed embellishments, and I'm going to kind of take this one and run with it. So we're going to come back to this one. Punches, I have chosen 2 of my absolute favorites. So we have this big honkin' one from Fiskars, which you can make your own like tags, and then the little like, oh, I forget what that thingy is called. But you can make your own tags. That's the biggest, most important part. And then I also have this one where you can make all your own labels. So I thought those would be fun to play with this month. So we've got tags, we've got labels. Wood veneer, the only wood veneer I grabbed was just this little set of open hearts, and these are from Spiegel Mom Scraps. And I thought these would also be fun to get involved with the art crayons to see if we can do some altering of those. All right, so spring themed embellishments, I really went crazy. So I knew that I was going to need some embellishments for this. So we're just going to call things spring themed, I think, to get them in the kit. Do you guys do that? Like you classify something, you're like, sure, just throw it in. Or it's an add-on, throw it in. So I have 2 things from Simon Hurley. I have a tile stencil because I thought this mimicked this pattern paper really well. And since I'm using art crayons, it gives me a chance to play with the stencil. And then I also grabbed this stamp because it is one of my favorite stamps from Simon Hurley's new release because it creates a floral background, but then these individual stamps also pop out and you can use them as separate stamps. And I just think this is absolutely genius. It is just about the coolest thing. And so I will put a link down below if you guys are looking for this particular stamp because I do have it in my little store. So I want to play with this month and play with these kind of pop out individual flowers, but then the whole floral background. So I thought that would be fun for spring. And then I also grabbed this little one I picked up at Tuesday morning. It is from Simple Stories Carpe Diem, and it's Create a Flower. And it's all these little teeny tiny flowers that you can layer up together. And so I thought that would also be really fun kind of with this theme of spring. So we've got those. And then I also grabbed a few more things. All right, this is Pink Paisley Little Adventure. I also picked this up from Tuesday morning. It has all these really fun like icons, and there's some florals in there. Probably not all of this is going to work with the theme of my kit. But if you look at the colors, they're a pretty good fit. So we're going to see if we can get some of that ephemera pack in here. I also grabbed some of my Felicity Jayne. These front 2 are from the Bailey kit, which is where the pattern paper came from. And then this is an older one from Sarah. And so these are just puffy words in all the bright colors, but look how well they match with everything we have going on. So I thought this would be perfect. Like even the green matches really well. And then I have these little epoxy pastel hearts in all kinds of different sizes that I thought were adorable, and they match with this pattern paper. And then I also grabbed the die cuts. There are 32 pieces in there. And these are just really fun spring happy colors. Like, I love the little hearts and all kinds of labels, the word love. They're just going to be kind of fun. This one's got some gold to it. Also fun embellishments. So all of that stuff kind of went into spring themed embellishments. So then all we have left to worry about is our alphas. So you're going to want 2 different kinds of alphabets for this particular kit. Some kind of fancy alphabet. So cursive, funky, fun, something a little bit different. And then any style of black. So I have grabbed just a basic black foam thicker. I think this might have been from Snow and Cocoa, actually. I don't know that I'm going to use this one a whole lot. I don't really have a lot of black in this kit, but if you know me, I like to put pops of black with color. So it could happen. We might see that in there. And then I grabbed this one. I actually have 2 packs of this one. This is called Cheerful. And these are kind of going to be my fancy, fun, funky alpha. I love that they're a little bit smaller size. They've got some really cute patterns. The colors I felt like were a really good match for what I have set out for my kit. So we're going to go with that. And that is going to do it, you guys. So that is my March for the Love of Homemade Kits. Do make sure you go over to the blog if you want to print out a copy of this so that you can put together a kit. And I would love if you tag me on social media so that I can see what you are making if you do put together a stash kit. And also make sure you check out everybody else who is sharing their For the Love of Homemade Kits with you here on YouTube today. And I will be back with the very first layout using this particular kit tomorrow because it's Monday. Bye, guys!